Bulgaria's ancient soil hides secrets rivaling Egypt and Greece. From lost wild giants to golden kings, each discovery unveils a forgotten world. Join us as we journey through 10 astonishing archaeological mysteries, each one a gateway to civilizations that shaped history beneath the Balkans. Bulgaria's last Orox, the vanishing giants of the medieval wild. Imagine a wild beast so massive and fierce that it could weigh over a ton and wield deadly horns. Yet it vanished from Bulgaria centuries ago. What happened to these giants? And why did their bones suddenly appear in a medieval fortress? In 2017, archaeologists digging at the ancient Orox fortress in Bulgaria uncovered a startling discovery: the bones of Orox, the wild ancestors of today's domestic cattle. These creatures were no ordinary animals. Weighing up to 1,100 kilograms and armed with lethal horns, Orox roamed Europe for thousands of years, feared by hunters and revered in folklore. But by the 12th century, they had disappeared from Bulgarian lands, thought to have survived only in pockets of Poland, Belarus, and Lithuania. The Orox found shattered that assumption. The Orox bones dated back to the 13th and 14th centuries, proving that these massive beasts still roamed the Balkans during medieval times. What's more, the fortress's inhabitants seem to have hunted them extensively, despite the danger and difficulty. Analysis showed that wild meat made up about a quarter of the animal remains found, indicating Orox were a significant food source. This raised a pressing question: how did a species considered extinct in Bulgaria survive so long, and what led to their final disappearance? The discovery at Orox rewrote the map of Orox's last territories, revealing a forgotten chapter of medieval wildlife. It also hinted at the complex relationship between humans and nature, where survival, hunting, and extinction intertwined. Could there be more hidden clues beneath Bulgaria's soil, waiting to change what we know about Europe's lost giants? A chariot with horses, the Thracian nobleman's eternal ride. What if an ancient chariot, buried for nearly 2 millennia, still held the secrets of a powerful Thracian leader, and even his loyal horses? This discovery in Bulgaria would rewrite what we thought about ancient burial traditions. In 2008, archaeologists uncovered something extraordinary in the lands of ancient Thrace, modern-day Bulgaria: a wooden chariot buried alongside 2 horses and a dog. This was no ordinary grave. A year later, nearby, they found the tomb's occupant, a man buried 1,800 to 2,000 years ago, dressed in armor and surrounded by gold rings, coins, and a silver cup etched with Eros, the Greek god of love. The artifacts spoke of a nobleman, a leader of great status. What made this find so remarkable was not just the chariot itself, but the tradition it represented. Chariot burials were common in Thrace, but nowhere else did they enjoy the same enduring popularity. The bronze-plated chariot once carried scenes from Thracian mythology, now faded by time, hinting at a rich cultural tapestry. This burial tradition began over 2,500 years ago and peaked during Roman times, reflecting a unique blend of local and imperial customs. But why were horses and even a dog buried with their master? What role did these animals play in the afterlife beliefs of the Thracians? This lavish burial revealed a culture that celebrated power, loyalty, and myth in death as much as in life. It raised new questions about Thracian society. How did they view leadership and the afterlife? The Golden Mask, Thrace's own King Tutankhamun. What if Bulgaria held a treasure as dazzling as the tomb of King Tutankhamun? In 2004, archaeologists unearthed a solid gold mask that rivaled the splendor of the ancient Egyptian pharaohs, and it told a story of a powerful Thracian civilization lost to time. Deep in Bulgaria's Valley of the Kings, a landscape dotted with ancient burial mounds, a massive tomb was discovered in 2004. Unlike the modest graves around it, this tomb was constructed from 6 enormous stone slabs weighing nearly 12 tons. But the real marvel lay inside: a solid gold funeral mask weighing nearly half a kilogram. This was no ordinary artifact. It was a masterpiece of Thracian craftsmanship, dating back 2,400 years. The Thracians were a fierce and sophisticated people who ruled vast territories across the Balkans, including parts of modern Macedonia, Romania, Turkey, and Greece. Their culture flourished long before the rise of classical Greece and Rome. This golden mask, unlike anything previously found in the region, symbolized the power and status of its wearer, likely a noble or king. It was a rare glimpse into Thracian funerary customs, which paralleled those of Egypt and Greece but remained uniquely Balkan. What made this find extraordinary was not just its beauty, but what it revealed about Thracian society. The mask's intricate design hinted at mythological and religious beliefs, while the sheer scale of the tomb suggested a ruler of immense influence. Yet, despite their power, the Thracians left no written records, making discoveries like this mask crucial to understanding their world. How did this civilization rise and fall? What secrets did their kings take to the grave? The golden mask remains a silent enigma, a shimmering beacon illuminating a forgotten kingdom. It challenges the notion that ancient splendor was exclusive to Egypt or Greece, proving that Bulgaria was once home to a civilization of equal grandeur. Mystery Arrow, the medieval warrior with an arrow in his chest. What if a skeleton buried for nearly 1,000 years was found with an arrow still lodged in its chest? Was this arrow the cause of death, or a symbolic gift for the afterlife? The truth behind this mysterious medieval grave in Bulgaria remains a tantalizing puzzle. In 2017, during rescue excavations at the antiquity Odeon in Plovdiv, a city known as Europe's oldest continuously inhabited settlement, archaeologists uncovered a medieval grave dating back to the 11th or 12th century. Among the bones was a startling find, an arrow positioned at the chest of the buried individual. The grave lay beneath layers of pottery and debris, part of a necropolis used during the Byzantine and Second Bulgarian Empires, shifting control of the region. The skeleton's gender and age were initially unknown, and the bones were disarranged, complicating analysis. Yet, the presence of the arrow raised immediate questions. Was this person a warrior who died in battle, pierced by a fatal arrow? Or was the arrow deliberately placed in the grave as a funerary offering, a ritual meant to equip the deceased for the afterlife? Archaeologist Maya Martinova, leading the excavation, explained that placing weapons like arrows in graves was a known medieval custom, especially for warriors. Such burial gifts symbolized honor and prepared the dead for battles beyond this life. However, the possibility remained that the arrow was the actual cause of death, left embedded in the chest as a grim testament to a violent end. To solve this mystery, scientists from Plovdiv Medical University collaborated with the archaeological team, conducting anthropological and forensic analyses to determine if the arrow had indeed caused fatal injuries. They also sought to identify the individual's gender, age, and health status at death. The grave's disturbed state made definitive conclusions difficult, but the investigation underscored the unpredictability and intrigue of archaeology. This medieval grave with its enigmatic arrow offers a rare glimpse into the turbulent times of medieval Bulgaria, a land caught between empires and wars. It invites us to ponder the life and death of a forgotten warrior whose story, etched in bone and steel, still echoes across the centuries. Was this arrow a weapon of death or a symbol of honor? A Roman bathhouse, the hidden luxury of ancient Plovdiv. What if a simple construction site in Bulgaria suddenly revealed a sprawling Roman bathhouse, untouched for nearly 2,000 years? This accidental discovery uncovered a world of ancient luxury and advanced engineering, and it almost vanished beneath modern buildings. In 2016, while driving past a building site in Plovdiv, one of Bulgaria's oldest cities, archaeologist Maya Martinova spotted something that stopped her in her tracks: ancient tiles among the rubble. What followed was a race against time. Rescue excavations uncovered the pristine walls of a Roman thermae, a public bathhouse dating back to the 2nd century AD. This was no small bath. It was a large, architecturally remarkable complex, part of the vibrant life of ancient Philippopolis, as Plovdiv was once called. The thermae was a center of social life, hygiene, and relaxation. It featured multiple rooms, heated pools, and a sophisticated water supply system. Unlike the typical hypo-cost heating known from Roman baths, this complex used a network of underground canals to circulate naturally hot mineral water, heating even the vast changing room where visitors left their clothes. Archaeologists found pottery buttons and shelves, hinting at the daily rituals of bathers. The discovery was bittersweet. Construction workers had already damaged a culturally protected 1920s building, and the bathhouse itself lay on private property surrounded by dense housing, making further excavation difficult. Yet the find connected Plovdiv's present to its ancient past, alongside other landmarks like the Antiquity Theater and Roman Stadium. This Roman bathhouse revealed a forgotten luxury, a glimpse into how ancient Bulgarians lived, relaxed, and socialized. It raised new questions. How many more treasures lie hidden beneath modern cities? Could the bathhouse's waters still be flowing underground, waiting to tell their story? The discovery was a powerful reminder that history often hides in plain sight, just beneath our feet. 2 millennia-old ship, the Black Sea's underwater time capsule. Imagine a shipwreck so perfectly preserved that it looks as if it sank yesterday, yet it's been resting undisturbed for over 2,400 years beneath the Black Sea. How did this ancient vessel survive the ravages of time, and what secrets did it carry from the classical world? In late 2017, a team of maritime archaeologists from the Black Sea Maritime Archaeology Project, MAP, made an astonishing discovery off Bulgaria's coast. A 75-foot-long wooden Greek trading ship, lying intact on the seafloor about 2,000 meters below the surface. Carbon dating confirmed the vessel's age at roughly 2,400 years, making it the oldest intact shipwreck ever found. Unlike typical shipwrecks reduced to scattered debris, this ship still had its mast standing, twin quarter rudders in place, rowing benches, and even rigging and ropes preserved. It was a time capsule from the classical world, frozen in an oxygen-free environment that prevented decay. The Black Sea's unique anoxic waters, devoid of oxygen below 150 meters, created a natural preservative, starving wood-eating organisms and bacteria that normally destroy sunken ships. This allowed the vessel to remain virtually untouched for millennia. The ship's design matched depictions found only on ancient Greek pottery, such as the famous Siren vase in the British Museum, offering archaeologists an unprecedented glimpse into ancient shipbuilding techniques. The find was hailed as a game-changer by John Adams, the project's lead investigator, who said it would revolutionize our understanding of seafaring and trade in antiquity. The discovery was part of a larger expedition that uncovered over 60 shipwrecks spanning 2,500 years, from Byzantine and Roman vessels to Ottoman-era ships, forming one of the richest underwater museums in the world. Using advanced sonar, remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and 3D imaging, the team documented these wrecks in stunning detail, even creating 3D printed models for study. Europe's oldest town, the Salt Fortress of Provadia. What if Europe's oldest known town wasn't a sprawling city of marble temples, but a fortified settlement built around one of the most precious resources of the ancient world, salt? In northeast Bulgaria, archaeologists uncovered a prehistoric town that rewrote the history of early urban life. Between 2005 and 2012, archaeologists excavating near the modern town of Provadia in northeastern Bulgaria unearthed something extraordinary: the remains of a fortified settlement dating back 4,700 to 4,200 BC, making it the oldest prehistoric town found in Europe. Unlike typical Neolithic villages, this settlement was protected by massive stone walls up to 3 meters high and 2 meters thick. The town was home to around 350 people who lived in two-story houses clustered within the walls. What made this settlement unique was its connection to salt production. Archaeologists found evidence that residents boiled spring water to extract salt, which they then formed into bricks. Salt was a highly valuable commodity, essential for preserving food and trading with neighboring communities. This explains why the town was heavily fortified. The walls and bastions were built to protect this precious resource from raiders. Inside the settlement, researchers uncovered ritual pits and a small necropolis with burials that hinted at complex social structures and spiritual beliefs. Some bodies were buried intact, while others were mutilated and positioned upright, a mystery that still puzzles experts. The town's layout suggested a society divided into classes, with wealthy landowners and salt miners living separately. This discovery challenged previous ideas about the origins of urban life in Europe. It showed that complex, fortified towns existed long before the rise of ancient Greece and Rome, centered around vital resources like salt. But many questions remain. What threats forced the town's inhabitants to build such formidable defenses? And how did this early society influence the development of later civilizations across the Balkans and beyond? The Salt Fortress of Provadia stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring value of natural resources in shaping history. The Kazanlak treasure, Bulgaria's medieval gold secret. What if a routine police stop in Bulgaria uncovered a treasure trove worth millions? Gold artifacts that vanished from history and almost disappeared forever. The story of the Kazanlak treasure reveals a hidden medieval world of power, mystery, and illegal treasure hunting. In 2017, in the town of Kazanlak, central Bulgaria, police pulled over a suspicious vehicle. Inside, they found a remarkable haul, a wooden box filled with nearly 3 kilograms of gold and semi-precious stones. The collection included earrings, a tiara, a bracelet, coins, and a necklace, an astonishing medieval treasure. But unlike many archaeological finds, this one was not uncovered by careful excavation but seized from treasure hunters, who often used destructive methods to loot Bulgaria's rich heritage. Experts quickly identified the treasure as dating from the 12th to 14th centuries, during the Second Bulgarian Empire, a time when Kazanlak and its surroundings were part of a powerful feudal state. Archaeologists believe the treasure likely belonged to a high-ranking woman, possibly a princess or noblewoman, from the medieval city of Kron, near Kazanlak. Kron was the seat of despot Aldemir, a prominent Bulgarian aristocrat in the early 14th century. This discovery highlighted a darker side of Bulgaria's archaeology, rampant looting and illegal trafficking of artifacts, which threatens to erase centuries of history. The treasure's origins remain uncertain because the looters refuse to reveal where they found it. Yet the find enriches our understanding of medieval Bulgaria's wealth, artistry, and social hierarchy. It also raises urgent questions. How many treasures have been lost forever? And how can Bulgaria protect its priceless cultural legacy? The Baptist bones. Could these be the relics of John the Baptist? What if the bones of one of the most iconic figures in Christianity, John the Baptist, were discovered on a small Bulgarian island? In 2010, archaeologists unearthed mysterious human remains that sparked a global debate about faith, history, and science. In 2010, Bulgarian archaeologist Kazimir Popkonstantinov was excavating beneath an ancient 5th-century church on the island of Sveti Ivan, which means St. John, in the Black Sea. Hidden under the church floor near the altar, he found a small marble sarcophagus containing 6 human bone fragments, a knuckle bone, a tooth, part of a skull, and, curiously, 3 animal bones. The sarcophagus was accompanied by a small volcanic ash box inscribed in ancient Greek with the name John the Baptist and the date June 24th, the saint's feast day. Radiocarbon dating conducted by Oxford University dated the knucklebone to the early 1st century AD, matching the time John the Baptist is believed to have lived. Genetic analysis from the University of Copenhagen showed that the bones belonged to a single individual, likely a man of Middle Eastern origin, consistent with John's historical background. These findings gave scientific weight to the centuries-old tradition that relics of the saint had been moved from the Holy Land to Byzantine territories. Yet, the discovery raised as many questions as it answered. Why were 3 animal bones, a horse, a cow, and a sheep, placed alongside the human remains, each about 400 years older? Were the bones truly John's, or could they belong to another holy figure? Many sites worldwide claim to hold John's relics, including churches in Constantinople, modern Istanbul, and the Grand Mosque in Damascus. The monastery on Sveti Ivan may have received these relics as gifts during the Byzantine era, but absolute proof remains elusive. Whether these bones belong to John the Baptist may never be definitively proven, but their discovery on a remote Bulgarian island has opened a fascinating window into early Christian history, relic veneration, and medieval pilgrimage routes. Oldest multiple-page book, the Etruscan Gold Codex of Bulgaria. What if the world's oldest multi-page book wasn't made of fragile papyrus or parchment, but of solid gold. Hidden for centuries beneath Bulgarian soil, this extraordinary artifact challenges everything we thought about ancient writing and storytelling. Around 70 years ago, during the digging of a canal near the Struma River in southwestern Bulgaria, an anonymous man stumbled upon an astonishing find inside a tomb. A small book made of 6 thin sheets of 24-karat gold, bound together with gold rings. This was no ordinary manuscript. Dating back approximately 2,500 to 2,700 years, the book was inscribed in the lost Etruscan language, a mysterious script still only partially deciphered by scholars. The donor, who kept the book hidden for 6 decades, eventually handed it over to Bulgaria's National History Museum in Sofia, where it remains one of the world's rarest and most enigmatic treasures. The Etruscans were an ancient civilization that migrated from Lydia, modern-day Turkey, and settled in central Italy nearly 3,000 years ago. Their language and culture remain only partially understood, making this gold codex invaluable. The book's pages are adorned with illustrations of a horse, horseman, a siren, a lyre, and soldiers, images that hint at mythological and possibly ritualistic narratives. Unlike scrolls or single-leaf manuscripts, this codex represents one of the earliest known examples of a bound multi-page book, predating even the famous Gutenberg Bible by over 2 millennia. This discovery reshapes our understanding of early bookmaking, showing that precious metals were used not just for jewelry or coins, but for preserving knowledge in a durable, portable format. It also raises fascinating questions. What stories did this book tell? Who was its intended reader? And how did it survive centuries of upheaval and looting? The Etruscan Gold Book stands as a shimmering testament to human creativity and the enduring power of the written word. It challenges the notion that ancient knowledge was fragile or ephemeral, instead revealing a culture that valued permanence and artistry. As scholars continue to study its inscriptions, this golden codex may yet unlock secrets of a lost civilization and remind us that history often hides its greatest treasures in the most unexpected forms. These treasures remind us that history is alive, buried beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered. Bulgaria's past is a story of power, mystery, and survival, an invitation to explore the ancient world anew. What other secrets lie hidden, ready to rewrite history once again? The adventure has only just begun. Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysteries like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.